It's that time of year many consider upgrading their tech. Back to school often sees a rush of people looking to upgrade or purchase laptops, but it's so much more.
All right, Mike Yawney back with us with another reason why you may want to update or upgrade. And yes, it is back to school time, Mike, but it is also a big time for anybody else who likes to game.
Gamers. Huge time for gamers because fall's when the big releases come out for games, right? So truth be told, summer's quiet because game companies know that the gamers, even gamers, like to get outside, get some fresh air, get some sunlight. But as the weather cools down,
what a concept!
I know, right? So they take a break. But as the weather cools down, people start gaming again. So the companies start releasing the big blockbusters, and of course, the holiday season is going to be upon us sooner than later, right? So we're going to see those blockbusters hitting. One of those, I want to show you a sneak peek at this one here.
Okay.
This is called Battlefield 6. This is probably one of the most highly anticipated games of the fall and the holiday season. And once we play the trailer, I want you to kind of get your initial thoughts. What kind of sticks out to you about this trailer?
The fact that it looks like I'm watching a movie and not playing a video game.
The graphics are absolutely incredible. I've been a gamer since the days of ColecoVision, and every time I'm like, oh, the graphics are so realistic. This is now to the point where I had to do a double take and think, is this real? Like, is this real video that they're using? But of course, it is graphics, you know, with the computer. But of course, to play games like this, you need some good hardware. That hardware can cost money, so you're always looking for deals. So I'm actually going to give you a tip on how you can save some money with Intel Gamer Days coming up in just a bit.
Okay, all right. You mentioned hardware. You've also brought some laptops here.
I did. I'm going to walk you through some of the things you need to look for when it comes to a good gaming laptop. The first one I want to talk about is processor. So I'm not going to get too nerdy on you, but basically when you think about a processor, think about it's the brain of the computer.
Okay.
The bigger, more powerful the brain, the better the more powerful the computer is going to be.
Just like in humans.
Exactly. So both of these laptops actually have Intel processors built inside. Intel's a company that's been around for many, many years, tried, true, tested. So this guy, let's start with this one here. This is the Asus ROG Zephyr laptop. It has the Intel Core Ultra 7 processor built in. A processor takes care of all those critical tasks. We're talking about physics in a game. We're talking about AI in a game. So important things. And AI is becoming really big in gaming. So this also has Intel AI Boost as well. So you want to make sure when you're picking up a laptop, you have a really good processor. That is really key.
Okay.
If the processor's the brain, I am a Commodore 64. I can tell you that right now.
Second thing you want to look for, I'll give you a little hint of what that might be.
Monitor.
The screen is really important. Now, we're seeing a trend when it comes to gaming, OLED screens. Are you guys familiar with the term OLED?
I've seen it, but I don't know what it means.
I thought you might be because it's also something we've seen in televisions over the last decades. So OLED basically is known for a few things. Contrast. So those dark darks, those bright whites, and getting a little nerdy once again, it's because every single pixel on the monitor can turn off. And so it actually gives you infinite blacks. So you have that contrast, so you can do some amazing environmental effects, some shading effects. But the other big thing when it comes to gaming is response time on the pixels. This is important because if you have some fast movement on screen, whether it's a first-person shooter, maybe it's sports, on older monitors or LCD monitors, sometimes you get what's called ghosting. Something moves really quick across the screen, you see a blur or you see ghosting. And that's the last thing you want when you're playing a competitive game online. So OLED, important for those reasons. Both of these laptops have OLED, but this Legion, a Lenovo Legion right here, has not only the OLED display, which I still can't get over, it's stunning. It also has an Intel processor inside, the Intel Core Ultra 9 processor. So both of these laptops are heavily built with some high features.
Okay.
Okay, something else though?
We have number 3, right?
Number 3.
Yeah.
Any guesses?
Well, we've done processing. We've done the monitor.
What about
Memory.
Memory, of course.
Memory.
How could I forget? Memory.
Right? Memory is important because it's how many processes can happen at the same time. And I think people at home can relate to this. I'm sure you guys can. If you've used an older laptop, and let's say you open up your email, then you start surfing the web, then you open up a photo, and all of a sudden you get that little spinny disk, and it's thinking. It's thinking.
Spinning wheel of death.
Right?
Yes.
That's because typically there's not enough memory, and so it starts to bog down. That's the last thing you want when it comes to gaming. You need things to be fast. You don't want to miss a second, so you need a good memory. The Lenovo Legion here has, I'm going to get a little nerdy here again, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 memory, and you know what? That basically is almost like a standard for high-end performance gaming laptops there. So make sure you have good processor, you want memory, a good monitor, but it comes at a cost, right? Gaming laptops aren't cheap, but I'm going to bring up a QR code on the bottom of your screen because you can scan it for information on Intel Gamer Days, and you can actually you can search for different retailers that have different Intel hardware, both laptops like you see here and desktops, so you can get some great deals until September 7th. And remember I showed you Battlefield 6 earlier?
Yep.
You can also get a free copy of Battlefield 6 with select purchases with Intel hardware as well.
All right. There is the QR code right there on your screen. Mike Yawney, thank you as always. Great to have you in studio with us this morning.
This portion of the morning show is brought to you by Intel. Check out game.intel.com/gamerdays for more details.